This young girl was stuck in the world all alone for years. If you are into these type of stories, y'all, welcome to Vivid Dreams episode 13. I'm going to cut to the chase. Let's get into this vivid dream. Viewer discretion is advised. Emily was a young girl growing up, had all her doctor's appointments, very healthy, like to play, do all the regular stuff that people do. And as she got older and stuff, she was always the healthy type, she still did little jogs and runs and stuff. But overall, one day she started getting really sick. And she started trying to do stuff, but she felt woozy and her head started hurting until eventually she hit bed rest. And then before you knew it, she ended up in a hospital. And when she was in this hospital, all she could say is she just couldn't get herself together. She felt woozy, she kept feeling hot, she felt dizzy until eventually she slipped into a full coma. During the time she was in the coma, she would wake up all of a sudden and look around, and she's the only one in the world. Like, there's nothing around her. Nothing she sees. It's all desert and it's clear, and she just see nothing. Way from afar she see woods and stuff. So she starts to walk, and she's hiking and stuff, and she's dehydrated. She's walking across the bare desert, and right as she's walking across the desert, she was finally get all the way across to the other side. And after walking miles and drinking creek water and dealing with different wildlife, snakes and stuff, desert, but she kept going, and she kept trying to figure out, where's society at, where's life? I can't find nobody anywhere. And then eventually she'll get to this town, and as she breaking through the brush and the woods and stuff, she'll come up to the back side of this town, and she'll look around. Everything is trash. There's not a person in sight. All the buildings look vacant. It look like these towns haven't been touched in years, decades, centuries. And she would look around, and she's trying to figure out what it is. She crawling through all the junk and stuff. She'll come out the other side of that area, and she's like, where am I? And then she'll start walking again, and she'll keep hiking, and she's just looking at all the lost city buildings and stuff all destroyed. There's no wildlife. Like, you see the wildlife is taken over. You see like animals and buildings and trash all over the ground. And eventually she'll make it to what was her loving home. And when she walked up in front of her loving home, she was expecting to see this beautiful house and stuff, but when she walked up, the house was all deteriorated. Looked like no one lived there in years, decades, centuries. So she's trying to figure it out, and she's looking around, and she's just like, what is going on? Where is everybody at? Am I the only one on earth? So she'll leave right there, and she'll keep walking, and then she started going through like a heavy brush and heavy woods and stuff, and at some point she'll feel like something is watching her. Now, meanwhile, in real life, there's some people, they're getting dressed, putting on nice suits and stuff, and getting ready to have a good time, and like not really a celebration, but like just getting formal and nice. And in the real world, as they getting ready, you see the girl, the lady, she's putting on clothes, and then you flip and you see other families, and they getting dressed and they getting all ready and stuff, and everybody's want to head out to this big event, this big celebration. And meanwhile, while that's going on, she on the other side of the world, in her dream, or should I say in her coma, she's still going through the woods, she's running, she feels like that vibe of something's watching her, and you see all this wildlife, mountain lions and stuff, and there's something following her. But she's picking up this will to want to live, and she starts trying to run. She just runs for it and stuff until she comes up behind this big vacant property, and then she would go inside of the property and look around, and she walk up to it, she walk around the brush, walk to the front side, she starts to go in and stuff, and she go in there and she look around, she realized everything in here is deteriorated. The room, the walls look all unpainted, and the paint all flaked up, and the drywall's all beat up and stuff. And as she's walking through this house, she get a real bad sense of something's watching her. It feel like a shadow figure maybe is in the background. And then as she go down the steps inside of this place, and she go into this weird creepy basement, then she looks up the steps, and she'll see a shadow on the door of a human figure, almost like a spirit or something maybe, because she just came out of that hallway, and she's scared. And meanwhile, in real life, on the other side, people is actually like, getting in their cars now, and they driving, and they all going to this big celebration and this big event, that people couldn't wait to be at, just because, they just want to get this behind them and feel free and just, go back to life and just, kind of get the ball back rolling. So as she's in her dream, she's just running and she's trying to figure out, she runs out of this house and she'll go out, run back, she's hungry, she's losing energy, so she finds some vacant house and she goes in there, and inside the house she'll find this old refrigerator. She'll open it up, it's spoiled food, like it has been dried out for years and stuff, but she had no choice and it was her energy, so she pick it up and she eat it and everything. And as she's doing that, she's just running and she's running and she's lost, and then she's find like it's nighttime, it's creepy, she hearing all types of sounds and she just really can't hold herself together. She's losing it, and she's just like, for some reason she finds this willpower. She says, I have to live, and she just keeps running. So eventually it'll start getting dark, and she said the only place she could return to was back home. Now mind you, in real life, this is probably like people like going down now, they all meeting up, they gathering up in this big beautiful place, and this guy got his suit on and he's looking, and then the girl, she's just so devastated, and she's just like, but she has to live with it, what's going on. And eventually, and then she'll finally just say, forget it, I can't have no choice but to go back home. And as she's running back home, she's fighting all wildlife, it's animals and stuff, and she just finds this willpower, and she finally makes it back into her house. This deteriorated, nasty house, and she'll see a light coming from behind her bedroom door and a cross, and she'll go there and she'll open up the bedroom door, and this big, bright, blinding light. And meanwhile, in the real world, the people is already gathered at this event now. There's a guy out there, he is the spokesman, he's talking and he's telling everybody, there'll be better days and things is gonna be okay. Emily was such a brave person, because the thing is, on that day, this real world, they were getting ready for Emily's funeral. But when Emily walked through that door, she would pop up, and then she'll wake up in real life. And when she woke up, she would sit up and she would look shocked, and she just sit there for a second because she didn't realize, and it's taking her time to register what's going on and stuff. And she'll look around and realize, I'm at my own funeral. She died. The family getting itself together and getting dressed was them all getting ready for her funeral. The drive-in was them driving to the funeral. This big celebration was a celebration of life, because Emily died. And in her death, she came back to life. And she said she was in some other world that was years in the future, and there was no life, humans, and nature has took life back. Nature has taken back over Earth. So a lot of people made fun of her for this, but it's very creditable to say that, the wildlife and all the building stuff we doing in this world, y'all, it's very possible. But if you are into these things and these type of stories and this type of mysterious stuff that happens, then drop a comment and tell me what you guys think happened, because she was in a coma and she woke up and everybody's face was shocked. And then when they looked at her, the husband couldn't register what's going on, the crowd couldn't register what's going on, and then before you knew it, he would run up to her and he'd just hug her. And she'll hug him back and bust out in tears, and then she'll smile because she was happy to be back into the real world, and he would smile because he was happy to have his wife back. So if you guys are into these type of stories, like I said, go ahead and drop a comment, tell me what you think, happened, or tell me, your output or your input in this story. But that's gonna do it, guys. Thank you for watching Vivid Dreams. See y'all.